Hi, this is Lynn Schnebley with Educating with Wisdom. I am the ambassador for Heaven's creating and protecting goddesses and archangels over life, as well as representing the Hurrians, Teshub, the Hattians, and I guess the Hittites because they recorded so many things. The Ashua. So at this point, I should just recap certain things. Back in the mid-February, I couldn't get forward with my case at all. My dad went into hospice, and as my dad went home into a hospice, I put a video online and discussing how I had to wait until things settled down, that he was now in hospice. And the next day when I was in school, what appeared to be a member of an LGBTQ community, what appeared to be, came up to me as I went into my, waiting to go into my substitute teacher classroom, and took out of his bag um, like hearts for, I guess, getting close to Valentine's Day. But he said to me, has anyone or do you have anyone in your family who has died? And he wasn't in my class. So I've been silent about that for a while because, of course, I have no physical evidence of this. So today I am going to talk about what is the physical evidence. I'm looking at, once again, Teshub continues to be up at Paleo Lexicon, and I had relatives that have seen it, and most recently, just this weekend again, we had my father's celebration of life. So I'm just going to leave that there. I want to show that as well because it's been up now for more than a year. Right, for going on, yes. And secondly, most Phoenicians did not come from the land of Canaan, changing historical assumptions. So when we take a look at, as well as the people that we consider the Jews, many of these people that are quote unquote part of Phoenicia, even our Jews today, are actually part Libyan, part of the Phoenician, the Mediterranean. They are not really of the original Hurrians. They are not of these people whatsoever. But they came to us, and so we can open this up because I've actually found this information when I found out who the Dragon people and who the Phoenician people were back in 2019, 2020, and I started discussing these things. They are not who they claim to be. Likewise, um, if we take a look at the whole issue of Go, Gomog and Mog, the Ashkenazi are related to the Scythians, and they are all coming down from. There's a lot of relatedness in terms of this group. So they're already there. So I'm just going to leave that there, and this is why it's okay for us to now discuss really Tishab and these others more emphatically. Let's go in and just take a look at. Here we go. Where's my Paleo Lexicon? Not here. Most Phoenicians. So, oh, I have to put this on pause. Okay, so we should now be back into this. And let's go in and see, where is it? Paleo Lexicon. There we go. We've gone through this before. You go into languages. This is a rough site of linguistics. It's not the only site for linguistics, but it roughly gives you an introduction to linguistics. So my whole thing is that if you go in and look at the beginning of each one of these languages, it starts at the beginning of their alphabet. But as soon as you go into Hurrian, it goes to Teshub. And Teshub is not listed within their alphabet for T. So I'm just going in to do this again because Teshub is the one that you are supposed to be able to segue into. No longer Balhaman, which is what the Abrahamic religions are about, and that's why Saturn is sitting at the top of the Abronic peace accord, and there's Saturn sitting on top because it's related to Balhamut, which is really a, what's the word I want to say? Libyan mashwash. Yeah, it's their deal. All right, let's come in and take a look at this. Now, if you see this, it goes right to A. There it is, right to A, and a little A goes on top. Let's go back to languages. Oh, back to languages. And carrion, because you'll see a lot of similarities in the alphabet, and I have to really wonder where it starts. Here's A, there's a little A on top, and here is A through here. These are all A's, lots of A's. And you can go forward and see more A's. Let's go back into languages. I'm sorry about the other side information here. So you can go through all of these. So for instance, when we come into here, here's also A. There's the little A on top. And if we go into Aja, boy, that's loud. I should read behind. I don't want it to close the window. Here's Aja. It means heaven. That makes a whole lot more sense than a moon goddess. So the Ishua and the Hattik actually gave you, the Hittites actually gave you the Ea and the Aja. Here we go. Here's Aja shining. I'm just going to put this on pause. I would just like to draw to this side. This is Inara. It says protector deity. They are very bad at discussing female goddesses that are major goddesses. Here we have this one of fate, but she is a major goddess, and the reason why she's so important is that she helps in the destruction of the dragon and the dragon people. So notice they're not telling you what and who she's about. Let's go to the top. Go back into languages. We're almost done here. So here we go. Well, here's Hittite, and there's Ludvian, which is a whole different thing I would like to do. Before we go into the Hurrian, well, no, we'll just do Hurrian this time. So let's do the Hurrian. And there it goes, right to Teshub, the storm god. Hurricane, storms, you name it, that's the god. Now notice that there is no T up here. It just opens right up into Teshub. So all of your major hurricanes that have been occurring, all of your major storms, since it actually, the dryness actually began in the end of 2011, but the major hurricanes, the storms in that, are related to Teshub that have been going on since 2017 on in the United States and surrounding the United States. So there we are. Now I'm just going into the T so that you can see this does not exist. Oh, you're going to see Tia, but there's no Teshub here so far. There's a lot of T's, so we'll go back through. There's Taya. Let's do the next one over. Teshui. Teshui means chief. No, not there yet. Let's do another one. Here's, remember, look, the Queen T. There's a lot of intermarriage in the Teshubs, and the Hurrians and the Hattans. But you will see there's no Teshub here. There is no Teshub to be found. There we go. So this is a freestanding. I'll go back into it. You can see it again. This is freestanding. Just picked out a language so that we can see that it opens up here. There's the A. It's here. Abba. Okay. And now let's go back in languages. Oh, by the way, let's take a look at Etruscan. The Azirs, Etruscan. The goddess Uni. I'm just going to go to the Uni. They won't tell you it's the goddess. They'll just say it's the name of a god. But it's the major goddess, and it's related to Juni and Juno. But she is the original. The Juni is actually Matini and Hurrian. And Uni, and then in Etruscan, Tennis is from Tenia, who was the viceroy of Teshub, and Minerva is actually named for the Hurrians. Mena means sister or twin sister. And Urva is actually Lord. So this was a Hurrian settlement. So I'm sorry, I'm digressing here. Let's go back into here. Languages. Well, let's see if that'll work. No, I don't want the Hurrian language resource. Let's try this again so that there's consistency. Well, I'm clicking on it, and they're not letting me open it up. Here we go. Oh, there we go. Here's Teshub again. And by the way, Elijah worships Teshub. There's the Teshaba. They're lying about this. All right, so here's Teshub. There's no T up here. But if I go into the T's here, so all of your storms come back to Teshub. There is the T up here. So this is a freestanding. I really doubt that this is coming from the government, but they will have to accept the deal. And I have a lot of things that are just plain from God. So, physical evidence. So let's come out of this. Let's go into my educating with wisdom. First time I did Teshub was here. I link it. Let's see if I can go in and see manage videos. Should be the most recent because almost all of them have been about Teshub recently. I warned you about the bankruptcy. Oh yeah, I warned you that you would be bankrupt. Teshub, the snake people in this is actually coming from Thrace. Teshub, 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 Teshub. I mean, I just couldn't believe that he was still standing up there. Teshub and the Minoans. Oh, that's good. Shiloh is actually first being attested in Minoan script. Here we go. So this is the first time I did something on Teshub. All right, folks, I guess I closed it out, and that's it. Have a good day. God bless. Thank you, Teshub. Thank you, Hepat. Thank you, Ia, Heaven. Thank you, Heaven.